Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. This was Rakal's first experience of ecstasy. He lived with his father in Calcutta and now and then visited the master at Dakshineshwar. About this time, he had studied a short while Vidyasagar school at Shampukur. Vidyasagar school for a short while. About this time, he had studied a short while in Vidyasagar school at Shampukur. When the music was over, the devotees sat down for their meal. Balram stood humbly like a servant. This is one of the features, important features of Balram Bose. Extreme humility, universal love, and total dependence and intimacy with God. His food was considered by Sri Ramakrishna as one of the purest food among the devotees. Because of his devotion to God and the earnings, he had large estates. When a landlord looks upon his servants, his staff, his workers as his own children, without greed, without exploitation, with due consideration, and with a view that they should evolve in their life. The most important part is to seek not only the physical welfare, which is going to be short-lived. The prospects of the world are passing events, but something eternal to be given to them, Shashwata. We may give them whole life medical aid, but it doesn't stay, it goes off. You may give them plenty of money, wealth, it goes off. Whatever you give earthly will go off. Whatever you give spiritual will remain with them forever. So one of the reasons of his doing that Rathotsava and all daily worship, in that all these people, workers, were included, just like a mother represents all her children. He is to represent the entire. It is there that they become close to God. When one seeks welfare of the other, everyone will seek welfare for himself. Everybody wants mukti, everybody wants something or the other. When he starts feeling for others, when he has a longing to serve others as my own self, then the grace of God descends on these people. So Balram, with all that, he is to sow huge estates in various places, 7-8 places scattered in India. Puri, Jagannath, here, there, Vrindavan, places like that, where people join for holy purposes. There are all those places of special interest. His estates were there. So, to manage all that, at the same time, give them a spiritual backing apart from the physical backing. The love and concern that he shows will be reciprocated to him by God. Whatever you give to this world, you will get back from the world, from God. So this is one of the important things we see, just like in Mahabharata, Ramayana and all. Each character you will see a specimen, clear, Shakuni, Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra, Arjuna. Each character has specific message to give to us. The whole, it is a great psychological book and a highly informative knowledge of the working of human brain, human nature, what all types of people will be there, sattva, rajas, tamas, all these are brought into picture beautifully. So also in Sri Ramakrishna's life, you will see Rajasic Bhaktas, Tamasic Bhaktas, Sattvic Bhaktas, and the 16 disciples to complete the 16 annas, to make the rupee full. These things you will see in Ramakrishna's life. So Balram is one of the sattvic person with all humility and concern for others. So his food used to be extremely pure, because his earnings also, apart from taking care of the people, earnings were very honest. Just like a Kabir used to sell cloth. While selling cloth, he will be sitting in the street, weaved clothes, or people will come to his house for buying cloth. Then he will tell, what is the price, they will ask. I got the thread for so many annas. Then I weaved it. And coloring, it took so much, this, that, everything. He will tell, fat, like in hotel, the bearer will be telling you, see, list, menu. Like that he will tell. Then he will tell after, finally, 2 annas is my profit. For my food and my family. So people cannot talk anything more. He is very clear and very specific. They do not bargain. Oh, with these 2 annas he will be doing his family matters. Today, tomorrow if no cloth is sold, he will not have a pay for his food. Like that. That is honest, where there is no corruption, where there is no exploitation, where there is no falsehood. The money earned in an honest way is, this money is so dear to God. Sri Ramakrishna he was not able to see the people who have earned money in wrong way, in bad way, consciously, and but Thakur was not able to touch that food. Sweets, this, that, if they bring, he was not able to eat also. Last, nobody, he is not going to take, he is hesitating to give to others, because their bhakti will be lost. Finally, he will give to Naren. So, he is putting in the fire. Silk cloth and dirty cloth, same way it eats away. So like that purity of food. Thakur used to say, go to their house and have food. You freely, without any hesitation, have food. Because that is the purest food which is dear to God, and when you consume it, your bhakti will be enhanced, your jnana will be enhanced. So for that sake, he used to send. That is that Balram Bose. He stood there humbly like a servant. Nobody would have taken him for the master of the house. So simple and that nobody will recognize him to be the landlord or the lord of that house. M was still a stranger to the devotees, having met only Narendra at Dakshineshwar. M has gone there, and all are new faces, new company. When new people join, they don't know how to meet each other, what to exchange. And in those days especially, each will be keeping silent with the newcomer. They'll be just looking, like in classroom. If a new boy comes, all eyes will be on him. He will not look at anybody's face. All faces will be looking at him. He'll be sitting like a fool. His head down, and he is terribly afraid of all other boys. How they are going to behave with him is not known. And what question teacher will ask, he will not know. So he will be sitting like that. A few days later, M visited the master at Dakshineshwar. This episode is over, that he has gone to Calcutta. A few days later, M visited the master. This is M's visit to master at Balram's house. Next is, a few days later, M visited the master at Dakshineshwar. It was between 4 and 5 o'clock in the afternoon. The master and he were sitting on the steps of Shiva temples, looking at the temple of Radhakanta across the courtyard. The master went into ecstatic mood. Slightest suggestion of the divine is sufficient for Sri Ramakrishna to enter into ecstatic moods. Anything and everything. Just like children. Children hear anything about food, sweets, this, that, in ashrama when they come, prasad. The prasad word immediately draws their attention. What is they are going to give now, where I have to go, prasad. One day when house, the children were playing outside, the topic turned to history. Somebody used the term Babu Rajendra Prasad. 2 children came running, hearing that prasad, some prasad they are going to give. It was Babu Rajendra Prasad. Topic was Babu Rajendra Prasad. Like that, it will be across. Master, that slightest suggestion. Anybody says anything about God or spiritual thing, just a word, Krishna or Rama or anything, would just immediately is not there. He is there with the object, leaving the body to itself, leaving the world where it is. Master went into an ecstatic mood. Since his nephew Hriday's dismissal from the temple, Sri Ramakrishna had been living without an attendant. On account of his frequent spiritual moods, he could hardly take care of himself. The lack of an attendant caused him great inconvenience. When he used to be in ecstatic mood, he cannot balance himself. Like a drunkard person, where he is going to fall, what is going to happen is unknown. The same ecstatic mood condition Sri Ramakrishna used to have, that his steps are not firm. Infirmity because of inebriation of divine love. He is not able to balance himself. Just like old age, we won't be able to balance properly. All the strength of muscles and nerves will go away. To stand, to balance, just like a child, before learning walking, he cannot balance himself. Somehow it struggles to stand and up it will fall. Again, sitting fall. Again try to get up. The similar state we see Sri Ramakrishna reeling and going when he is in ecstatic state. Somebody has to support and take care. But they don't bother. In saints' life, God is the ultimate refuge and God is the supporter of their existence. The sustenance is maintained by God. So God takes the total responsibility of his devotee. When devotee doesn't have anybody, you can see in the lives of every saint, God personally taking care. And in some saints' life you hear that God coming in the form of physical form as actual servant. Sri Khanda in Eknath Maharaj's house. Many saints. Bhakta Kumbhar. Gora Kumbhar. All these people, so many were there, in whose house the God comes in human form. And Buddha tells about this. You don't know how many ways, how many times God came to you, you did not recognize. You did not recognize. Even otherwise, all are manifestations of God, in whom we have seen God, that when God comes in human form, we will see. When we were small children, my father once asked, what will you do if God comes? My answer was, I will climb on his shoulders. And he asked my sister, she was 1 year elder to me. He asked my sister, if God comes in the form of dog, what will you do? She said, I will take a stick and start beating it. He asked, it is gone, in the form of dog it has come. She said, for God dog, Lati worship. If God comes in the form of a dog, and the worship would be with the stick. Then my father went in a different way to deal with this. It is another, but we were too young to understand the significance of all this. But the thing is, we don't find, we won't be able to recognize when God comes. You see, in that this one also, Ramakrishna's life, he quotes about a girl who had come to somewhere in Ramakrishna literature itself. A girl coming and staying in somebody's house, in their house, as a born in their house. Finally she enters into a pond, showing the hand. Ranjit Rai. Divine Mother had come and he could not recognize. How many times, how he might have treated in various ways. He has loved also, served also. But he drew her out also in anger. Small girl going on pestering something. Papa, Papa, what are you doing? Where are you hoarding this? He shouts, don't disturb me, I am doing some work. Don't disturb, go away, go away. Shall I go away? Shall I go away? So, God might have come in so many ways in front of us, but our eyes, unless He reveals Himself, it is not possible to recognize. Unless He reveals Himself. On account of his frequent spiritual moods, he could hardly take care of himself. The lack of attendant caused him great inconvenience. Sri Ramakrishna was talking to Kali, the Divine Mother of the universe. He said, Mother, everyone says my watch alone is right. The Christians and Brahmos, the Hindus and Muslims, all say my religion alone is true. But Mother, the fact is that nobody's watch is right. Who can truly understand thee? But if a man prays to thee with a yearning heart, he can reach thee. Through thy grace, by any path. Mother, show me sometime how the Christians pray to thee and their churches, in their churches. But Mother, what will people say if I go in? Suppose they make a big fuss. Suppose they don't. Allow me to enter the Kali temple again. Well, then show me the Christian worship from the door of the church. See, after realizing God, the jiva becomes like a child unless Mother keeps, the Divine Mother keeps a ego in that person to get the work done. Like Shankaracharya, he keeps the ego of Jnani. In so many saints, she had kept the ego of a bhakta. With that, she gets the work done to teach the mankind, give the message of the mankind to the mankind. Now, after realization, they will be just like children, just like child. They are talking to Mother, Divine Mother, and conversing with her, telling so many things like this. They will go on talking. It carries meaning, at the same time it doesn't carry any meaning. He wants to, it is children's prattle with the mother. It is telling the small child who has started newly going to school, kindergarten 1 and all, 1 kg child. You can see after coming from school, it has big story to tell to its mother. This happened, that boy was stood like this, he did like this, she did like that, teacher told this. All stories, such a long, it doesn't carry any meaning. It has no purpose. The child doesn't want anything, mother also doesn't want anything from that. But they talk. And mother goes on telling how her child was there and what her teacher did. And some of them will be real stories, some of them will be artificial stories. So many things. But child, that prattle of the child is expression of its joy. Something it is expressing which is beyond the words. She wants mother to come and see there what is happening. She cannot take mother. It is giving the experience of mother being there. If you were there, how it would have looked. So many things it will be telling. It is expression of joy. And it is just to keep the relationship. Just to keep the relationship. The mother should not sit quietly, left to herself. Divine Mother here. He doesn't want she to be placed quietly. He'll go on telling something, talking something, so that she will not enter into meditation. That's what we see. He's talking some great sensible thing. It has a message for us. It has a message. Everybody says my watch is right. That one thing we see in Sri Ramakrishna's life is he never went to correct anybody's watch. Because one person's watch was showing 1 minute late, another few seconds, another is less by few seconds, and the best watch in the world is supposed to show a difference of 1 second in 216 years. Just like all standards are preserved here and there, what is 1 foot? A particular material, a particular place, a particular temperature, it is kept to make man understand what is 1 foot, 1 kilogram. These are standards are kept in the world. That is world standard. Anything going into Supreme Court can refer there, whether it is 1 kilo or not. So like that, all standards are maintained in the world. So time is also maintained as correct time. In the world, one watch is there, you can see your internet and all somewhere, where it is kept. It is supposed to show 1 second difference in 216 years. So that is the best watch. And Sri Ramakrishna tells about the everybody's watch. So difference, everybody but everybody's work will go on. With the difference, work will go on. Deepa Maharaj will be opening the door. 57 morning. If if it is opened when the conch is blown, nobody looks at the watch. When the decision is there, 57 I will open. Today 1 second early it has opened, 2 seconds late it has opened, 3 seconds today. Everybody is calculating seconds. And never it will be exact time. It will be at least 1 second, more or less. So that difference, Sri Ramakrishna did not go to, knew everybody's difference, each person's difference, what their watch is showing, never went to correct anybody, but showed this is the correct time, correct your watches. Correct the time he showed. What is realization? What is God realization? What will be state? This is reality. Correct yourselves. That's all. That is the Sri Ramakrishna never went to say this is wrong, this is right, no criticisms, no comments. Anybody coming and telling that religion, that defect is there, this religion, this defect is there. Used to say, in which religion it is not there. Everybody, take the essentials, not non-essentials. We all differ in non-essentials. Essentials we don't differ. So, Sri Ramakrishna used to tell, oh, let there be, don't attend to that. In which you have faith, in which is your path, go ahead with it. Later on you will know, after climbing to the apex, you will know what is right, what is wrong. And don't waste time. And save every moment of your life and reach the God. That is the only purpose. Again and again Sri Ramakrishna says, only purpose of human life is to realize God. Don't worry about anything. That is primary duty of a human being. All other duties, all other vows and promises will wait till you realize God. You can give up any duty and responsibility for the sake of God. Because when you took birth as human, your first primary duty was to realize God. All the duties came later on, after getting education, after getting strength, after seeing the mind is in good condition. All duties came later on. But first duty was to realize God. In accounts, first debit is cancelled by the first credit. So, first your duty, primary duty is to realize God. All other duties will wait and God will take the responsibility of a bhakta who is on the path to realize God. He need not worry. Even if a grown-up girl is there, if he is sincerely striving to realize God, God will take the responsibility of that girl. All my promises, all my vows, I can take vow. I cannot protect my vow. God has to protect my vow. So all this will lead to, once you take up that path to realize God, your responsibility rests in God. You need not worry. It is for him. You see in Arjuna's life, what all pratigna he does, no pratigna he is able to fulfill. And Krishna has to take care of those pratignas and fulfill. Will he not look after our small woes? He will take care. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.